hidden power of propaganda, how it shapes our world and our minds. Have you ever felt like something you're watching is just pushing an agenda? Or wondering why certain narratives seem to be dominating our screens, news feeds, and social media? What if I told you this isn't just random? It's part of a hidden force called the Illuminati. I'm just joking. No, we're just talking about propaganda today. I know you know what propaganda is, but today we are uncovering how propaganda has shaped history, influenced us today, and how we can avoid falling victim to it. Why? Because I've seen so much of it recently, and I want to do a deep dive on it, because my friends are going insane. That's literally why. So section 1, the origins of propaganda. Propaganda didn't start with the internet, social media, or even newspapers. Its roots stretch back thousands of years to some of the world's earliest civilizations. Ancient Egypt, for example, had a well-known tradition where pharaohs commissioned monuments, artwork, and inscriptions that portrayed them as godlike figures, both to unite their people and to demonstrate their divine right to rule. And now, ancient Rome took this and took it a step further. The Senate and emperors mastered the art of using information to control public opinion. A well-known example of this is Octavian, later known as Augustus, used propaganda to discredit his rival Mark Antony and eventually turned the public against him. Now fast forward, 17th century, and we see the Catholic Church, Sacra Congregatio de Propaganda Fide, or the Congregation for the Propagation of the Faith. This institution was designed to spread and defend the faith, giving us the modern term, propaganda. Section 2, propaganda in the 20th century. Now the 20th century took propaganda to new levels, with the rise of mass media, newspapers, radio, film, cinema, everything, film and cinema, I guess that's the same thing, but basically movies. Governments could influence public opinion on an unprecedented scale. Think of World War I and II. Both sides used powerful posters, films, cartoons, and radio to stir nationalism, reinforce enemy stereotypes, and encourage citizens to support the war. Now here's an example. During World War I, British propaganda often featured horrific and exaggerated tales of German war crimes. There was war crimes happening, but they didn't exactly see what was happening, so these artists would make posters making up some war crimes, which is where we get the term atrocity propaganda. The goal was to sway neutral countries like the United States to join the Allies, and it worked. During the Cold War, US and Soviet Union became locked in ideological battles too, not just through military power, but through media. TV shows, movies, and even sports were used to promote each side's ideology and demonstrate that theirs was a superior way of life. Section 3, how propaganda works. So how does propaganda actually work? Well, it's not always about lying. Often it's about presenting certain truths in a way that directs people's emotions or beliefs towards a specific outcome. One powerful method is by triggering strong emotions like fear and anger. When we feel these primal emotions, we're less likely to question what we're hearing. War propaganda, for example, frequently depicts enemies as monstrous or evil, stoking anger and fear in the population. Another method is the bandwagon effect. If everyone else is on board, it makes us feel like we should be too. Now think of campaigns like Support the Troops after 9/11, where showing support for military action became synonymous with patriotism. Finally, there's the selective truth. This technique involves cherry-picking facts that support one side while ignoring contradictory information. Politicians often use this by highlighting specific data points, conveniently leaving out the context that might paint a different picture altogether. Just follow the White House on Instagram. Very great examples there right now. Section 4, propaganda in today's media landscape. Propaganda has evolved with technology. Today, it's not just governments using it, it's corporations, influencers, and especially media outlets. They all play a role in shaping public perception. Now, studies from Pew Research and others have shown that major media outlets in the United States have a distinct ideological lean typically towards the left. For example, Saturday Night Live and others have often satirized one political side more than the other, subtly shaping public perception of certain topics. Sure, they make fun of both sides, but one side seems to get kicked while they're down. Social media is also a powerful tool for propaganda. Algorithms on platforms like Facebook and Twitter are designed to prioritize engagement, and often sensationalized or emotionally charged content wins out. This kind of content is perfect for spreading propaganda because it fuels emotional reactions and can push divisive narratives to the forefront. And with the viral nature of social media, ideas, whether they're right or wrong or something in between, can spread like wildfire. A single tweet or post can be shared millions of times in just a few hours, reaching audiences worldwide. The truthfulness of an idea often takes a backseat of how sensational or relatable it is. allowing even flawed or misleading ideas to gain massive traction. Now, the fast-paced spread of information can make it incredibly challenging to distinguish between fact and fiction, especially when the message is designed to spark an emotional response. Section 5. Who is the most susceptible to propaganda? I mean, are you? Am I? The truth is, almost everyone is susceptible, but some are more vulnerable than others. For instance, young people and younger minds can be especially susceptible. Studies show that younger audiences are more impressionable, and when people are introduced to certain ideologies early on, it's easier to shape their views and basically tell them what to do. Indoctrination could start at a young age, and early exposure often solidifies certain beliefs before a person has a chance to question or explore other perspectives. Then there's a phenomenon of echo chambers. When people are surrounded by friends, family, or social groups who all share the same viewpoints, in these closed circles, beliefs and ideas don't get challenged, which means it's harder to see things from a different perspective. Social media algorithms amplify this by showing users content that aligns with what they already believe, creating a reinforcing loop. Finally, people with limited access to diverse information sources may be more vulnerable too. Those who rely on a single source for news, like one cable news network, are often exposed to just one perspective. Our emotional state plays a big role too. During times of crisis, like a pandemic or economic downturn, elections, fear and anxiety make us more likely to accept emotionally charged information without questioning it. Then there's confirmation bias, the tendency to accept information that aligns with what we already believe. This is why politically or ideologically charged propaganda often resonates with people who already lean that way. Now, Section 6, how to recognize and resist propaganda. So how can we avoid being influenced by propaganda? I mean, if it's everywhere. Here are some practical steps that you can take to protect yourself. First, check your sources. Look at the origin of the information. Is it credible? Well-established source? Or is it from a blog or social media post with an obvious agenda? Next, be aware of emotional triggers. If a message makes you feel an intense anger or fear, ask yourself why. Is it designed to provoke an emotional reaction rather than to inform? Finally, diversify your information sources. Try to get news from a variety of perspectives, especially ones that don't align with your existing beliefs. This helps you see the full picture. I mean, go to CNN, go to Fox News. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. Section 7. Addressing the big question. Is nationalism just propaganda? Now, is nationalism simply a form of propaganda? Well, it depends on how it's used. Nationalism can bring people together and inspire pride in one's country, and that's not inherently propaganda. But when it's used to make one group feel superior or to inspire hatred towards others, it becomes a powerful tool of manipulation. Now, for example, the national narrative around conflicts often frame the other side as enemies, creating a black and white view of complex issues. Propaganda isn't just a relic of history. It's alive and woven into the fabric of our daily lives. From the news to social media to entertainment, everything we watch. Recognizing it is the first step to reclaiming your perspective. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button to dive deeper into topics that help you think critically in a world full of noise. If you like concealed carry gear, check out our website.